And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around your real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning. Over 75 show partners now with the Real Estate Quarterback Show and our second brand, the Consumer Quarterback Show, and all in an effort to help you help educate, entertain, engage, enlighten in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone and save our Consumer Advocate Hotline number in your phone.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894. 813-917-1894, and that's our Consumer Advocate Hotline. You can also bookmark realestateradiotampa.com. That's our website, blog site. You can see all of our listings from Platinum MVP Realty, as well as click on the Expert Contributors tab, and you'll be able to see all of our expert contributors, the finest folks that we've assembled in all of Tampa Bay to help you win in any marketplace. You know, we don't care if you have $100,000 in debt or if you have $100,000 to invest, you know, anything in between. We're here to help you. You know, we want you to, you know, save, you know, all that commission-based advice out there, make you just a bit more street smart. And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. And this segment is brought to you by my health team, consisting of Michael Vogt. He's an expert massage therapist with Back in Health Massage. And he is voted top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay, as voted by the Tampa Bay Business Journal's Best in the Biz Award. Shouts out to Michael Vogt, expert massage therapist in Tampa Bay, located at 3750 Gun Highway. And part two of my health team is also Ray Milton, Ray's Vegan Soul on Facebook. You can find him there. And his tagline is where I'll hit you with the flavor. And so Ray's Vegan Soul does a great job cooking these awesome organic and vegan meals for me each week. And, you know, what else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? So shouts out to my health team. And let's go around the horn here and make our introductions in studio. Back in studio here, Michael Banner. He's the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance. Welcome back in, sir.
Always great to be here, Brandon. Thank you.
Excellent. My pleasure. And also, as well, is Abe, president of Total Title Solutions. Welcome back in, Abe.
Glad to be back. Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, my pleasure. We're going to have a lot of fun here talking about real estate, things happening in Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. You know, it's just a great place to live, work, and play, one of the best in the United States of America.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
Yeah, so we're going to help you here. You know, so let's we've got a couple things to talk about. You know, that we're going into the peak selling season. There's a lot of things you can do to prepare real estate properties for sale. You know, curb those days on the market, those excessive days on the market, and you know, streamline the process. You know, June historically is the highest selling month, the peak of the real estate season. We're coming into it. You know, there's different theories of why. I guess most of the kids are out of school. They're planning their family vacation once they get the house settled, and you know, transferring those jobs. A lot of folks transferring jobs from out of state. I think the stats show something like 1,000 people a day still move into the Sunshine State here in Florida. And of those choices, you got different places to live. Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, one of the best places here, you know, in my opinion. A little bit biased here towards the real estate side, but let's talk a little bit about, let's switch gears here. Let's talk to Michael Banner. He's the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance and also the American C.E. Institute, helping educate folks in the industry. And primarily, you know, talking about the reverse report purchase. It's such a strong product.
Absolutely. It's been around for about 7 years, but it really is just coming into its own the last 12 months to 2 years. No disrespect to your listeners, but real estate agents are not the easiest people in the world to teach new things to.
Is he taking a dig at you? I don't get it.
Just a little. So, but anyway, the HECM for purchase, the purchase reverse mortgage. Many people don't realize that is a separate mortgage from the traditional. It's not the mortgage you see all the TV commercials, Fonzie and all those people. You know, if you're broke and you need money, get a reverse mortgage. That is not the purchase reverse mortgage. The target audience for a purchase reverse mortgage, believe it or not, has a net worth between $500,000 and $1.5 million.
Interesting.
Got time for an example now, or you want to hold it till later? Okay, prime example. Somebody sells their house up in Ohio or Michigan or somewhere where they've been digging snow and and dreaming about moving to Florida, the retirement capital of this country, and they finally get here. So they sell their house in New York or Michigan for $500,000, let's say. And these are not poor people, Brendan. They have money in their 401ks, their IRAs. They're not millionaires, but they're not poor people. And what does their financial planner or their attorney or their son or daughter say to them when they leave? Mom, Dad, you just made $500,000 on your previous house. Don't spend more than $500,000 when you get to Florida.
Right.
Don't tap into your portfolio. It took you years to save that. Your cash reserves. So they go and they spend $500,000. Why? Because they don't want a payment. And that makes sense. That's part of the American dream. No payments during retirement. Enter the HECM for purchase. Both borrowers are approximately 65 years old. They find their $500,000 dream home. But instead of spending $500,000, they put down $250,000.
Okay.
Half. The reverse mortgage lender comes to the table with the other $250,000. So unlike the traditional reverse mortgage, we're not giving them $1,000 a month. We're not doing that. We're bringing all the money to the table so the seller and realtor can get paid at closing. That's the American way.
Right.
So what is the end result? They have their $500,000 dream home. We've met their goal of no payments for the rest of their lives.
Check.
No principal and interest payments, I should say, to be fair. Still got to pay your taxes and insurance. But I'm sorry, there's one other thing. Don't these people get to go back to their financial planner and go, well, I was going to write a check for $500,000, but I only wrote a check for $250,000. Can you put this $250,000 back in my portfolio?
Nice.
A $250,000 just bonus. This is life-changing. There it is. This is life-changing, and this is the truth.
That's right.
About the HECM for purchase.
You can't handle the truth.
And that's the problem. Most people can't handle it. But really and truly, let's say somebody has $750,000 in their bank. I mean, this is not a poor person. And you bring them up to $1 million. You just increase their net worth by 30. That's the reason that these people are going to have enough money to live the rest of their lives. And that's the HECM for purchase.
I have a question for
Yes.
you. I mean, it seems I listened to you earlier. I mean, the product is so fantastic. Why is it not heavily used? Like, what is scaring people from using such thing?
Well, it's a great question, Abe. There's a few things. Number one, most reverse mortgage professionals do not want to admit that the reverse mortgage, which, by the way, has been around since 1962, so it's been around for 53 years. And the truth of the matter is, Abe, this was a flawed product until a few years ago. It was too expensive. It did not have protections for the estate. I could go through the list. In the last 3 to 5 years, it has evolved into such a safe program. But you know how things are. It's like getting a bad meal at a restaurant.
Sure.
You can't wipe out.
Let's not go there.
That's right. Not your restaurant, of course. Abe's Place, Missouri Avenue, Clearwater, Florida. You can't wipe out 4 decades of bad reputation of literally tens of thousands of children going to the will reading of their parents going, what? What did mom and dad? Oh, my God. So that's part of the reason, the gray cloud. And the other reason, and I was being a little sarcastic before, but it happens to be true, mortgage people and real estate people are very hard to teach new things. You go to a great mortgage person. I won't pick on real estate agents because that's how I make a living, through real estate agents. But you go to your average mortgage guy in his 50s, and you want to show them something new. I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing.
Kind of set in their ways.
They're so set in their ways. And, people that think they know everything really, really annoy the hell out of those of us that do.
Well, all right. So, what about the heirs of the person that has the reverse mortgage? I mean, do they have to pay the upside on that?
That's
maybe what's scaring a lot of people.
That is what's scaring a lot of people. The purchase reverse mortgage, as well as the traditional reverse mortgage, Abe, is a non-recourse loan. So for the layman listeners out there, non-recourse means only the collateral, only the home stands for the debt. So mom and dad get a reverse mortgage, purchase or traditional. Let's go 25 years, God willing, later. They live to be 90, they die.
Yep.
The house is worth $600,000, they owe $400,000.
Yep.
The kids sell the house, they make $200,000 profit. Now let's go the opposite. We're in another recession. The bubble bursted again. And the house is worth $400,000, and they owe $600,000.
What happened then?
The estate or the children or the heirs are not libel. Mom and dad could have left them a portfolio. Mom and dad could have left them life insurance. If that's a forward loan, you could guarantee the banks are coming after the estate the children can't lose.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
It's win-win.
And I'm going to dive deeper into that example you gave as well with the $250,000 down. Now that person can go and buy a nicer house, and the realtor's making more commission on that deal.
On my next segment, we're going to talk about how a real estate agent ethically, morally, can increase their commission 33% and just get hugs at the closing from the senior borrower.
Love it. Yeah,
Can I
stay
start
with
my
us.
application now?
Stay with us. The best is yet to come. And we're also going to talk about Tampa City Council considers parking ticket credit for food donations at the holidays. Stay with us. You're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show and the owner of Platinum MVP Realty. I'm a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine multiple times, Tampa Bay Business Journal, The Tribune, recognized for innovations with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. So we are in a severe lack of inventory market. We're heading into the peak of the season right now, and Ron and I were looking before the show. June is the time when most real estate properties sell. That is the peak. So if you're a seller out there, if you're on the fence about potentially selling your property and you just kind of want to know what the value might be, shoot us a text or a call at our hotline, or submit the form at realestateradiotampa.com. We'll do a free comparable market analysis for you. Basically the same thing you pay $500 for a full appraisal. We'll do it for you for free. Just text value to our hotline, 917-1894. And before we jump back into this great content, got some intelligent folks here in studio. Michael Banner, Professional Mortgage Alliance, as well as Ron Fuller, Regional Account Executive with Centralized Showing Services. I want to touch on a couple of hot listings before we do that. I got an open house going on this Friday and Saturday at 414 Royal Palm Way, Tampa. This is at Beach Park, beautiful property, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 2 half bath, and it's over 4,800 square feet, listed at $1.27 million, 414 South Royal Palm Way in Tampa. Open house this weekend. Reach out. Come check it out. And we also have brand new listing here, 1126 Marina Drive in Tarpon Springs. This is Anclote Isles, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. And it's listed at $1.399 million. Just a few days on the market now. It's an extraordinary waterfront opportunity, boater's paradise, and it's one of the few available lots with deep water access to the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful property, over 5,000 square feet at 1126 Marina Drive, Tarpon Springs. Compliments Victor Alaman with Platinum MVP Realty. And this segment is brought to you by my health team, consisting of Michael Vogt with Back End Health Massage, helping people with neck, back, shoulder, hip, and leg pain feel better. Shouts out to Michael Vogt, Back In Health Massage, voted one of the top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay, and does a great job taking care of me as well. 3750 Gun Highway in Tampa. And also part 2 of my health team is Ray Milton with Ray's Vegan Soul. His tagline is where I'll hit you with the flavor. He does a great job cooking these awesome meals for me each week, and it's great, vegetarian style food. And I know some of you guys are like, oh wait, vegetarian, you're going vegetarian on me now, Brandon. You're all Metro now. But what it is, it's great, awesome meals. A lot of healthy types of food that just taste great. I mean, he makes these little tacos, these lettuce wrap type tacos with, it's like, man, I can't explain it. Great food. Check him out. Go to Facebook, Ray's Vegan Soul, and where I'll hit you with the flavor. So let's go ahead and jump here in studio. Let's open up the conversation. So Michael Banner, Professional Mortgage Alliance. Welcome back in. You're helping educate people on these reverse mortgages. There's so many misconceptions about this product, but it really is a good product.
It's an incredible product. It's evolved. As I said many times on the show, a lot of reverse mortgage professionals don't want to admit that it really was a flawed product for a very long time, probably the better part of 4 decades. And it is only in the last several years it's actually evolved into a safe program. But usually I vault right into how a realtor can make more money by using the purchase reverse mortgage, which is being referred to as the sleeping giant of the senior real estate market. But I'm going to save that for the last segment. And today talk about really and truly the ethical and moral stances on this product and why a realtor should be involved in it. Right. Yes, to make more money. Hey, my mortgage company's here to make money. So is every realtor that's listening. But there are ethical and moral issues that a lot of times people don't think about. And it doesn't revolve around equity. It doesn't evolve around economics. Believe it or not, it evolves around science and medical technology. The fact of the matter is we're all living longer. Right. Longer lifespans has basically demanded that people look at their equity as part of their retirement income. Let me just give you a quick example. 2 teachers, a teacher and a fireman, a policeman and a realtor. These are married couples and they retire after 30, 40 years. Well, believe it or not, if you have that type of employment, you may be retiring with $750,000 to $1 million in their combined 401ks. Now, 10, 15, 20 years ago, especially 20 or more, they're set for life. But if they retire at 65, and the average person today, right from the American Medical Association, more than 50% of America makes it to age 88. So let's just do that math. 65 from 88 is 23 years. Could you live on $1 million for 23 years? Not even close.
Not with the way our government's going.
Well, and that's not counting taxes. That's not counting cost of living. I mean, that's not counting taking a cruise or, God forbid, getting sick. So, to think about people the majority of America that are probably retiring with less than a couple of $100,000 in the bank. Okay, I mean, that's the majority of America.
Right.
And of course, here we are in the retirement capital of the world, Florida. There's no way to get around it.
Yep.
So we live this. Yep. As I've said before, the average age of a person in Florida is about 112 years old. So having more liquidity is not an opinion anymore. Do you think the number one fear in this country, I welcome all your listeners to Google this, the number one fear in the country for seniors today is outliving their money.
Yeah.
For 50 years, that fear was death.
Yeah.
Death moved to number two. Can you just imagine, if you just think about that for a second on an ethical point of view or morally, how does death move to number two behind anything?
Yeah.
But it moved to number two in every national survey the last few years. Number one is dying broke. Now, I'm not going to suggest that buying a house with a reverse mortgage takes care of that entire fear. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have a mortgage payment the last 25 years of your life, and let's say you buy a beautiful home, I'm not talking $1 million house here, let's just talk an average home, $350,000.
Yep. And
your mortgage payment is $1,500 a month. So let's do that. Let's do the math. 1,500 times 12 months in a year is $18,000. And then they're going to live, I hope, about 20 years.
Yep.
That's $360,000 more in their bank account,
right,
rather than making a house payment.
Yeah.
That's the difference between dying broke or not. That's the difference between getting to 80 and going, oh, I think I need a job in Walmart. Or, would you like fries with that? And that's why we see so many seniors. So ethically and morally, even though I'm sure there's realtors listening to this going, oh, no, reverse mortgages, I heard bad things. Use your own self as an example. If you were to retire today, do you have enough cash in the bank to live 25 years?
Right.
Now take away your present mortgage payment. Would that help? So that's really the reason why reverse mortgages are on the tip of successful realtors' tongues. Quite frankly, certified financial planners, elder law attorneys.
Yep.
It's not the love of the product. It's the fact that longer lifespans demands we look at this. And to be unbiased for a second, because I'm very biased towards reverse mortgages, I'm kind of possessed by them. It's my passion to see seniors live the best quality of life they can during retirement. But I'm not saying it has to be a reverse. Yep. You have forward partners in this radio show.
Yep.
Refinance the house, do an equity line.
Yep.
And then a reverse is an option. I am biased when I say I would pick the loan with no payment, until 6 months after you're dead. Only in America does that happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to borrow that money and I'll write you a check 6 months after I'm dead, okay? And this country says, yes, because we're a great country, as screwed up as we are right this very second. We are the best country in the history of the planet.
Best option out there.
Absolutely. And this reverse mortgage is just proof of it. And these are our moms and our dads. So going to leave you with, like I said, the ethical and moral stance of helping these people. I mean, if something you did for them, you, the real estate agent, 20 years later when they go, no, we're not, when their friends are working at Walmart and when they're at the front of Kmart giving you a cart or canceling their golf membership or not taking that cruise, your people are okay because they haven't had a mortgage payment in decades.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a neat thing to think of. So we'll cover more business in my next segment. But ethically and morally, this is a very cool thing for everybody's mom and dad.
Yeah, if you just joined us, you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show. That's Michael Banner. He's one of our expert contributors here, Professional Mortgage Alliance, talking about the benefits of a reverse mortgage. There's definitely some strong benefits there, and a couple of things that I want to talk about in the next segment as well, Michael, is do you take a lump sum or do you take structured payments? That's one of the considerations you have, and then does tackle one of the number one misconceived ideas, misnomers about it is that and I've heard it from so many people as well. I don't want my children to suffer because I took a reverse mortgage and potentially lose the home. We're going to answer those misnomers when we come back.
Absolutely.
We're going to dive deeper into this reverse mortgage, as well as we're going to hear from Ron Fuller, Regional Account Executive with Centralized Showing Services, talking about the the 3 F's follow-up?
Follow-up, feedback, first dates.
Okay.
And we'll throw politics in there.
Throw some politics in there. Might as well. It's an election year. We're getting closer and closer here. So, stay with us. And we're also going to jump into this story as well. It's a developer moves forward with affordable apartments near South Tampa, and an Atlanta developer. We're going to talk about that story and more from our experts here in studio. And you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com. Stay with us. The best is yet to come.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host here with the Real Estate Quarterback Show and the owner of Platinum MVP Realty in Tampa Bay. Here in studio, a couple of intelligent folks here. We're talking with Michael Banner in the second segment there, talking about reverse mortgages for purchase. And we're also going to talk a little bit more about the standard reverse mortgage. And we also have Ron Fuller. He's a regional account executive with Centralized Showing Services. And before we jump back into this great content, I want to touch on a couple of hot listings I've got here. This one's from Platinum MVP Realty, compliments of Victor Alaman, and it's 249 Dogwood Trace, Tarpon Springs. Now, this is a 4-bedrooms, 4-bath property, and it's over 5,485 square feet, $1.15 million, impeccable executive estate home here, situated on 4.5 acres in lovely Tarpon Springs, 249 Dogwood Trace, Tarpon Springs, $1.15 million. Beautiful property. Tell your agent, tell your honey to show you this property in a beautiful home here. And also got a vacant land here, vacant parcel of land in the Bayport community, Bayside East. It's 5603 East Longboat Boulevard, Tampa, located in 33615. It's only $189,000 for a great large-size lot, over a quarter acre to half an acre, and it's overlooking the water. It's got a conservation area in the back and a beautiful property surrounded by $700-800 up to $1 million plus homes in the Bayside area of Tampa Bay. Now, this segment is brought to you by The Maids, the official cleaning partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. The Maids are referred for a reason. Shouts out to The Maids, the official cleaning partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. And let's go ahead and switch gears here. We're going to talk to Ron Fuller now. He's Regional Account Executive, Centralized Showing Services. And let's jump into it, Ron.
All right, Brandon. Before we talk about politics, feedback, follow-up, and first dates, talk about some statistics. Brad O'Connor, he's the economist for Florida realtors. Cash deals are down 18% over last year. Sale prices are up from 270 and change up to over 283. Let's see, and I got my statistics here. Average day on market last year at this time was 62 days. Now it's 50 days. So competition has grown.
Yep.
If you're wanting to sell your home, you've got to step your game up, which is what I want to talk about.
Right.
Now, centralized showing service, besides, of course, getting the appointments secured quickly and easily, we have a follow-up and feedback model that'll really help you sell your home faster and for more money. It's really critical that you get feedback and follow-up. Home sellers often are blind to perhaps weaknesses to their homes, right, and also in some cases some strengths. For example, you may have an outdated kitchen, you may have an outdated bathroom. Our feedback's going to tell you that, but you may have a strong point such as your backyard's beautiful. It's the Garden of Eden. Mm-hmm. And you've got all your blinds closed. You've got all your curtains closed. You get this feedback. You open up those windows, and your strong points get to be displayed better. So, feedback, follow-up, first dates, politics. Well, what do I mean? I think you've got intelligent listeners. Folks, if you don't want to sell your home quickly for the most amount of money, you don't want to listen to what I have to tell you. But if you want to sell your home quickly for the most amount of money, and you don't want to leave any money on the table, let's talk. First, you want to talk politics?
Let's do it.
All right. I am talking to folks selling your home. You do not have a political opinion if you want to sell your home.
Yeah.
Political signs, who you support, needs to go away. When you pull into the driveway, you don't want to turn off 50% of the people who are looking at your home, right? Mm-hmm. So in this political era that we're in, take all that stuff down. Now, my favorite saying is, a man who doesn't stand for something will fall for anything.
Right.
So I'm patriotic. I believe in the wonderful country we have in our voting system, but we're here to sell our home.
Right.
We're here to sell our home quickly for the most amount of money. Don't tick off someone who's pulling in your driveway before they've even gotten out of the car because of the sign you have in your front yard.
Yeah.
So it's like Elf, my favorite movie, Elf. When he said, candy canes and Christmas carols is his favorite, the manager at the department store said, work is your new favorite. So your new favorite is selling your home quickly. So let's talk about that. First date. Here's what I mean. When you go on a first date, you brush your teeth, you comb your hair, you try on 5 or 6 shirts in front of the mirror, you clean your car. You want to make a good impression, right? So, Brandon, when someone's going to a home, and we told you the statistics, it's getting quicker and more expensive in terms of market statistics. So you have to step your game up to sell your home. So I can't pull in and see dead grass, paint that's nasty, coach lights that are crooked. The home has to shine and sparkle. Mm-hmm. Now, the first date, here's your impression. You walk in, smells like cat. There's 100 Chotskys in the front yard, garden gnomes. That stuff's got to go. You've got to appeal, and I know your listeners are smart. You have to appeal to someone who is coming to your home for the first time. They have to have a good first impression or a good first date. So, Brandon, do you have any horror stories, perhaps, of listings in the past, maybe that you've seen? Any stories to share with what would probably be what would be considered a turnoff for somebody?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of them, and it's all the major senses. It's the smell, it's the sights, it's when you're walking through the rooms and you see way too many family pictures. I mean, there's so many different areas you can go into.
Sure. Well, it's almost like a home communicates with you. You have verbal communication and nonverbal communication. What do they say? Like 80% of your communication is nonverbal.
Right.
So verbal communication for a home would be, for example, the home I bought, my must-haves were verbal. Had to have a main floor master bedroom because I'm going to turn 50. I need a main floor master for the future.
Yep.
And a 3-car garage. Those were my verbals. I didn't even have to see the home. It had to have master on the main floor and a 3-car garage. But the nonverbal is what sold me on the home. Pulling in, seeing a green grass, seeing great landscaping, fresh, clean paint. Those are the things that are nonverbal, the senses. Now, folks, here's what will happen. If your home has weaknesses, it's going to equate to either no second date, or on the second date, it's going to be little high maintenance. I'm going to want a more expensive dinner, and you're going to pick me up early because you're trying too hard. You're going to leave money on the table if you have a home that has these weaknesses. You got to weed, you've got to freshly paint, you've got to get the carpet clean. Don't wait to do those things when the inspector tells you need to do those things. If you're serious about selling your home, it's not playing around anymore. The market says it's 50 days to get your home sold. You're competing against clean, nice homes these days. The repos and the bank owns are flushed. They're gone. So you have got to step your game up.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. If you just joined us, you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show. That's Ron Fuller, Regional Account Executive with Centralized Showing Services, kind of updating us, giving some nuggets of advice about real estate. And that's one of the things I see and hear most is I focus on the listing side. I'm a top listing agent, and the consistent feedback that I get is that they did not get feedback. So you're right on point.
Yeah, and I'll talk about that. With Centralized Showing Service, our feedback system is really strong. Brandon, we do between 1 to 2 million showings a month. We've been doing this for over a decade, so we've learned some things. We ask for feedback after the showing occurs, not when the appointment was set. Yeah. So you're a busy guy. If you set an appointment Monday to show a home on Friday, do you want to get feedback in your email on Monday?
No.
Yeah, right. You haven't even seen the home yet.
Right.
That's 400 emails down by the time Friday hits.
Yep.
So we don't ask for feedback till the appointment actually happens. It's kind of a no-brainer, but that's a lot of the systems out there. Secondly, we'll ask for it again, up to 4 times. We also can customize the questions because sometimes it's just, if you can make it real easy on the showing agent, point and click, 4 questions, and we'll build a report. We build a really nice report that'll show the strengths of the property as well as the weaknesses of the property. And it's really important. That's how you're going to maximize selling your home quicker and for more money.
Yep.
Now, the other thing is for agents who don't want to fill out feedback, this is what I would say to you. You've got possibly a mom with 3 kids. She gets a call, got to show my home. She's got to clean that house, get the Cheerios up from the floor, vacuum, make it look all nice, get the kids in the car, and go somewhere for an hour or 2.
Yep. That's
a drag. And she's doing that how many times a day? 7 days a week.
Right.
She deserves feedback.
Exactly.
If it's a centralized showing feedback, it's 30 seconds, and you hit click, and it's done. They deserve that.
Yep. So let's jump into that. We've got Ron Fuller here, Regional Account Executive, Centralized Showing Services, talking about some of the intricacies that we see with real estate. There's not this manual that each homeowner gets. It's like this is going to answer every single question you have, and that's what we love about your service. It's providing these systems and templates, and it allows for ease of use for both the real estate agent and the homeowner, and it's going to allow the homeowner hopefully to get that feedback. We always ask for it. That's the thing. A lot of times I ask for feedback. We'll text, when they text me, and I'll say, please provide feedback. But that's what we're going to talk more about when we come back. And also, a developer moves forward with questions or with affordable apartments near South Tampa. So stay with us. The best is yet to come. And you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes, your host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. This segment is brought to you by Greg over at Printing Solutions, Inc. His website is digitalprintingsource.com. Shouts out to Greg. He does a great job with all of our printing needs, real estate flyers, postcards, mailers, business cards, brochures. Check out digitalprintingsource.com. and a partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Of course, you can find all of our expert contributors' contact information under the Expert Contributors tab at realestateradiotampa.com. You can also call our hotline anytime at 813-917-1894.
Welcome to my house.
And I've got a couple of hot listings here for this segment. I've got a piece of vacant land here. It's raw land, 0 Point Seaside Drive in Crystal Beach. This is reduced over $125,000 just recently, and it's down to $350,000. And it's a great buying opportunity surrounded by $1 million homes over at the Ogden Bayou at Point Seaside Drive in Crystal Beach. Great buying opportunity. And also 0 Rowan Road, Newport Richey. This is a large parcel of land. It's got about 15 to 17 acres here. It's $2.1 million, and it's listed at 0 Rowan Road, Newport Richey. Prime development opportunity. So any builders, developers, entrepreneurs out there, reach out and let us know what you're looking for. If that doesn't fit, we can plug you into something else. And this segment is brought to you by the Printing Solutions, Inc. Shouts out to Greg over there, digitalprintingsource.com. And so before the break, we talked about developer moves forward with affordable apartments near South Tampa. An Atlanta developer is moving forward with plans to build affordable apartments near South Tampa. Pollock Shores Real Estate Group has closed on the 12.3-acre site that sits between Lois and Manhattan Avenues just south of Walmart Supercenter on Gandy Boulevard. It will build the M South, which will consist of 288 units, an average of 1,065 square feet, and the project average rents of $1,390. So just another example, fellas, of a development and infrastructure here with apartment complexes and things happening in Tampa Bay. So Michael Banner here. What are you seeing out there, man?
Well, first, before we get into all that stuff, because you asked some great questions before the last break about reverse mortgages, I want to say just a couple things about what Mark said, because as a mortgage person, I have visited thousands of homes in the last 34 years to either write a mortgage or with my favorite real estate agent. And you're just so right. You walk in and you go, wow, they have, cat deodorant. That's okay. And you're going to go, is this house, it is such a bad first impression that it is amazing. Although while you were speaking, it did occur to me that if we could convince one neighborhood to only sell homes to right-wing Republicans, that would be one well-armed, safe neighborhood. I mean, values would go up. Criminals would go, I don't think we're going there. You die when you go into that. So anyway, just a thought. But go ahead. You had some great questions about the reverse mortgage.
let's clear some things up. We talked about your second segment there. You were talking about the reverse for purchase. Now, some of the misconceptions for the reverse mortgage, where you might just pull out equity and take advantage of equity. You're 62 years or older for the seniors. This is one thing I want to be. As a consumer advocate, that's our number one goal here, is to educate, entertain, and engage. But we want to bring to fact some things that we've seen happen. At least I've heard this in the past. So if your mother, loved one is looking at taking out a reverse mortgage, there's a couple different ways. You can take a structured payment, or you can take a lump sum. Yeah, and I've heard
a few
in the
other
past,
ways too.
Really? Okay. And and I've heard in the past there's some problems that happen when you take that lump sum. Yes. You'll have people trying to get them to invest some of that money with someone that they know. Right. Let's warn about that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk traditional instead of purchase today.
Yeah.
Mom and dad need some help and they want to get a reverse mortgage. And there's actually 5 ways to get the money. There is a lump sum. There is a structured payment. There's a line of credit, which is kind of incredible with a growth factor. There's a fixed payment. Hey, Michael, I just need $2,000 a month for 5 years because I'm holding a second mortgage, and then that comes due. Yep. That's all I need. And then my favorite option is a combination of them all. But in the time remaining, I want to talk about the problems with this.
Yep.
I'm going to say something that a lot of people don't know, and I'm sure I'm going to get some calls from mortgage people going, I can't believe you said that on the radio. But mortgage people make money on how much money is taken at closing.
Right.
And there was, and still is a little, but there was a problem with greed. I know people won't believe it, but there are some mortgage bankers out there that are greedy. Grandma needs $100,000, and that's why you go to her house to write a reverse mortgage. But grandma doesn't really need $100,000. She needs $1,000 a month for the next 10 years.
Right.
Well, the truth of the matter is the profit on a reverse mortgage is probably 5 times more if an dishonest mortgage person or financial person convince grandma to take the $100,000 up front.
Right.
But grandma's also spending easily 6 times more interest. Imagine the interest clock starting on $100,000 day one. It should only start on $1,000 day one. 30 days later, $2,000. So the truth of the matter is, don't take a lump sum. It's just wrong for the estate, for mom, for dad, for their heirs that are worried about getting, their inheritance, which is another subject we'll talk about one day. Because if you're worrying about getting your inheritance rather than worried about your parents' quality of life, you are a stinky child. It's just that. It's just that simple. You were not.
You can't handle the truth.
That's right. That's right. They can't handle the truth. So you really did bring up a great question. Like any other loan, take what you need, never more.
Right.
And be cognizant. And that's the difference between, quite frankly, an ethical reverse mortgage professional and not.
Yeah.
And just like a real estate agent or what all we do here, you go in and you meet the customer's needs. You don't go in, quite frankly, and say, how do I make the most money?
Commission-based advice.
Yeah.
That's what we warn about so much here.
Yeah, it's just wrong. It's ethically and morally wrong. You brought up a great point. Brenda. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. The reverse mortgage is great. It's a great product. It was, again, the Reagan administration brought it about back in the 80s, and there's, been some different dynamics about that. But now, it's most effective a lot of times with the purchase side of that reverse mortgage for purchase. You're going to have, someone that's maybe selling a property up north. They're coming down home or down south. And let's kind of switch gears. Let's give Ron here some closing words. And Ron Fuller, Regional Account Executive, Centralized Showing Services. What was your other point you were making there, sir?
Well, Brandon, an agent needs to be your friend by being honest with you.
Right.
And the follow-up and feedback that we collect, it needs to be honest. If you've got an agent who wants to be your pal and doesn't want to hurt your feelings, you're going to take longer to sell your home and you're going to get less money for it.
Yep.
At best.
Yep.
Is that agent really your friend? Or do you want someone who's going to be a little honest with you and say, look, we really need to fix this kitchen, or these purple curtains that are faded need to just come down. I want to help you sell your home quickly for the most amount of money. So don't be afraid to tell the truth. Don't be afraid to get honest feedback, because ultimately that seller wants to sell their home quickly and walk away with more money.
Yeah, that's the goal, and a lot of times you have to give that tough love. It's I had to do that just recently. I had the comps were showing X amount. We had some offers that were higher, finance offers, but we had this cash deal on the table that was I thought was above fair. And the client said, well, Brandon, I don't feel like you're working for me. It seems like you're kind of said, listen, when we first met, I told you I would take care of you just like I would my mother or my grandmother, and this is what the truth is. So I'm not going to fluff it just to try to make it seem, so I think that's your point.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brandon, you bring up a good point for the home sellers out there. Hire a professional real estate agent. They charge a commission. Yes, they earn a commission. They do a lot of things for you behind the scenes that you'll never understand or appreciate. And they'll bring your home more money quicker. Yeah. So real estate folks, I've been in the real estate business 32 years, and they're hardworking, ethical, and always watching out for the backbone of our economy. And in fact, we'll be up in mid-year, Washington, D.C. next week. And real estate folks are fighting for you. And I'm talking to the public out there. They've got your back. And in this political season, it's good to know that someone really cares. And home ownership is the backbone of our country.
Yeah, it sure is. There's so many. If you just look at one real estate transaction and you look at the amount of stimulus that comes from it, you got a buying side agent, selling side agent, you've got the title company involved, mortgage partners involved. A lot of times you get, for example, Jay with A Snoop Inspection is our inspection partner. Shouts out to Patrick McDonald, termite and pest control, home staging, and the list goes on and on. You got the repair companies, you've got home inspections, so much money is derived from a real estate transaction. So we really want our government to keep moving forward, keep incentivizing home purchases, keep that homestead exemption in place, and all these other factors. So I want to thank Michael Banner for coming in. He's Professional Mortgage Alliance, also American C.E. Institute. Thanks for coming in, as well as Ron Fuller, Regional Account Executive with Centralized Showing Services. Great job, fellas. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Great to be here always.
Thanks, Brandon.
Absolutely. And want to remind our listeners out there, you can check out all of our social medias pages, Facebook.com, LinkedIn. Check out our YouTube channel. Some very cool interviews there. We've had all the local mayors, Buckhorn, Kreisman, Creticus. We've had NFL stars like Warwick Dunn on the show.
Warwick Dunn. Warwick spins to the 10. He's to the 5, 4, 2. Touchdown.
A few weeks ago as well, we had Coach Jim Levitt as well. So please go out there and consider making a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time.